I'm Martha McCallum, and this is the story breaking right now. We have just received word tonight of yet another federal criminal investigation into the Biden family that appears to be focused specifically on Hunter Biden's business dealings with China and his relationship with Burisma Holdings in Ukraine. So this is now the fourth federal investigation that has been reported in recent days. According to the New York Times, it was launched by agents in Pittsburgh at the request of Attorney General William Barr, based on information that he received and forwarded to them from Rudy Giuliani. So it raises a lot of questions about what was going on with Hunter Biden, with his Uncle Jim, and potentially their U.S. and foreign business deals. Who was involved in them? What exactly were they selling? And why, in one instance, was a diamond given to Hunter Biden in return? So how about this one? Where did all the money go? And did they ever compromise themselves? Does China have anything that they could hold over the Biden family? Remember, their former associate, Tony Bobulinski, had all of these similar concerns. Watch this.
I remember looking at Jim Biden and saying, how are you guys getting away with this? Like, aren't you concerned? And he looked at me and he laughed a little bit and said, plausible deniability.
Today, President-elect Joe Biden had the first opportunity to clear up some of these questions. He was asked, but instead, we got this.
Did Hunter Biden commit a crime? Have you spoken to your son, Mr. President-elect? Proud of my son.
So for now, the American people will remain in the dark on this, left wondering, A, how did we get to this point? If the Attorney General knew about it, should he have spoken about it before the election? We certainly heard a lot from Jim Comey in the wake of the Clinton-Trump election, I should say. And B, how would a President Biden handle this situation? A case targeting members of his own family with his DOJ at the helm. In moments, we will get reaction to all of this from Victor Davis Hanson. Later in the hour, Kim Strassel joins us, and Greg Jarrett is here as well on the media's handling of this story throughout the course of the election and now. But first, we start with former U.S. Attorney Brett Tolman. Brett, great to have you here tonight. Thank you.
Good to see you, Martha.
First of all, your reaction to, good to see you too, to this new information that the Attorney General passed along information from Rudy Giuliani, gave it to officials in Pittsburgh to dig into this whole issue of the laptop and Burisma. This just came out tonight.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Certainly, he has an obligation once he receives evidence or information to pass it to someone that might inquire as to the legitimacy of it. That happens all the time. When I was U.S. Attorney, I had from various sources, and my first and initial response was to send it to investigators and to prosecutors who can vet the information and see if there's anything to it. So I'm not surprised that he did that.
So here's a clip from the interview that I did with the Attorney General about a year ago, December 19th, and I asked him about how he was handling everything that we were hearing about from Rudy Giuliani. Watch this. Are you interested in seeing the evidence that Rudy Giuliani has been gathering in Ukraine?
The Department of Justice is interested in seeing all evidence that could be relevant.
Does the DOJ have any plan to investigate Joe Biden or CrowdStrike or Ukraine and the DNC server or Burisma? Are any of those on your radar?
I couldn't say one way or the other, but you shouldn't read anything into that.
So, Brett, I mean, you have to take everyone back to remember what was going on at this time. There's a lot of pressure to investigate Hunter Biden. And the Attorney General was cautious in his answer to me on that. But, you know, did we deserve during the election to know more about this, that we're now learning 4 investigations going on into the family?
Well, first of all, I think it was great that you had that moment. You were one of the few asking some of those tough questions. And I think by his response, we can certainly see there was some knowledge there. There was something that he was trying to be careful. They have a policy in the Department of Justice to not confirm or deny the existence of an investigation. But you hit on the issue I think is important, and that is what we saw happen after that was stories about Russia disinformation, 50-plus former intelligence officers indicating that there was nothing here, that this was from Russia. At that point, I believe the Attorney General absolutely had an obligation to correct the record to make sure that that was not the case, that there was information to suggest that they at least were going to look into it. And that's okay for the American people to know that they had credible leads into potential laundering of money or the movement of money that might have been illegal involving Hunter Biden. That should have been said. There was enough time to do that prior to things ramping up in the election.
Do you believe that the information that is out there so far that suggests that Joe Biden is not part of who is a subject here should have exonerated the Attorney General from his requirement or the guidelines that he operates under that would say that you wouldn't want to raise something like this so close to an election?
Yeah, I mean, this is something where the Attorney General, who certainly he's old school, he was the Attorney General many, many years ago before we were in the political atmosphere that we are. But this called for a different response. And I think what we're going to see now is a lot of the details coming out, and people are going to be frustrated. They're going to be upset because let me tell you, it's not just the laptop that triggered this investigation. When you have suspicious activity reports that are being filed by financial institutions, and you have the laptop, and then you have Bobulinski, you have the makings of a fairly large-scale investigation into the illegal movement of money that is involving multiple people. That's a conspiracy.
Just very quick.